Hello everyone, welcome to another art stream. Now this is just these streams are more to test out the new Wacom tablet I have, which is this thing right here. It has this digital pen and you can draw with it, which is pretty awesome. I am using jump paint today as opposed to the other paint program I was using the other day, which was Fresh Paint. Jump paint is the stuff that is developed by MediaBang, and it's basically so that manga artists can create their pieces. So expect pages of color palette from time to time being developed as the stream is happening. But I need to get used to the tablet, so until that happens, you're just gonna have to see me get used to the tablet. I'm using my USB mouse as well, so because it helps me zoom in and out. I know that there's a way to make the Wacom zoom in and out, but I decided to use a USB mouse so that I am able to better navigate my environment so that this piece turns out good. Now, if you look down below in the panels, I've placed my stream times. Those aren't exactly the full stream times as they are guidelines. Sometimes I might not be able to stream in time, but I'll probably say so on Twitter or Instagram if I am unable to stream on time. So let's get to it. I don't really believe in planning things ahead sometimes, so I don't know exactly what I'm drawing yet, but we'll see what it turns out to be. I create stories in my spare time, and I create female heroes, which you can read their stories on my DeviantArt page under FireCrystal192 at DeviantArt. And one of those heroes is what my channel is named after, FireCrystal. I started developing her story 10 years ago, and it's become... I've rewritten her story at least 100 times, maybe close to 200. And every iteration is a little bit different, but has some similarities, because as a writer, it's hard to let go of a plot point or storyline, but sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches. There are some characters that you'd want to include that you just can't because of story reasons, or that the character interrupts the pacing. Let's just make sure that the labels on this stream are correct. It's probably telling you that I'm streaming Detroit right now, but I'm not. I'm streaming art. So let's go and change that real quick. Yeah, see, it's saying I'm playing Detroit, but I'm not. I'm gonna change it real fast. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna change it. Art. And I'm gonna hit refresh real quick. What the hell? It still says I'm playing Detroit. I am not playing Detroit, I'm doing an art stream. I just tried to change the title, and it's not cooperating with me, as usual. Give me a second. You know what? I'll go back and change the title later. But just so you guys know, I'm not streaming Detroit right now. I'm doing art. So I am drawing on Jump Paint, which is what the Shonen Jump manga creators use to create their pieces, developed by MediaBang. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's a social media website where you can post your own manga, where people can post their manga, and it's where Shonen Jump hosts their manga contest. I had applied to under Fire Crystal 192, and my rough draft of color palette is there. And when I mean rough draft, I mean extremely rough, back when my art skills were subpar. Not saying that they're perfect now, but they're a lot better than they used to be back in 2012. So don't worry, even though I'm not streaming Detroit right now, I do play the game. I played it yesterday, and I was starting Mission Connor, because I want my heart to break into 1,000,000 pieces and collapse in on themselves. I know it's not going to be the most happy playthrough, but I'm so close to finishing the game and gaining platinum that I'd rather just do it anyway. I'm practicing on a Wacom tablet, though I do have my mouse in case it gets difficult to navigate. I haven't drawn on a computer. I haven't drawn on a computer for a long time, because it's been almost a year since my computer decided to bite the dust. And I recently got a laptop from my school, so I wanted to make sure that, and this is a good opportunity for you guys to, for us to talk and hang out and practice. Help me practice together. Oops. See what I mean? Let's not worry about the ears right now. I'm gonna do the hair. Now I'm doing like a... Let's go with... We're doing regular pen. Let's do... Oh, that's too thick. Manga style... People always ask what's the difference between manga style and Western comic book style, and manga style has more thin lines. And they're more careful. I'd say that American comics are a bit more stylistic in a way. Like, there isn't exactly... there is a format, obviously, but, like... You know what I mean? It's more... loose. And the way that I draw it is the best of both worlds, in a way. I try to incorporate my American style with the manga style, so that both sides are represented. I am obviously American, so... But I try to do the best that I can with the resources I have. And hopefully I can get a better camera in the future. with better lighting. The lighting at my house is absolutely terrible. So forgive me if you can barely even see me. I am normally super camera shy, but the fact that I know that the camera is on the other window and I'm not looking at myself right now kind of helps me. Right now I'm drawing Emma. Usually I will give good short character bio for my characters that I draw in these art streams, so that you'll be curious to check their stories out once they're finished. But Emma is the main protagonist to my comic color palette. It's basically a way to teach people about color theory through manga storytelling. I was kind of inspired by Osmosis Jones and old tea that incorporated learning about the human body and other things through cartoon characters in a way that you didn't realize you were being fed information until it was over. Yes, that does mean that there'll be some art puns here or there, but don't worry. I'm learning about art as much as everybody else is. I'm taking art history classes and all that. And I'm in a 2D animation class, so you might be able to see some of my animations from time to time in my uploads. Most of them are only a few seconds long because I'm still developing my animation style, while simultaneously trying to be a better artist at the same time, which is a difficult task. I'm more of a traditional artist, so forgive me if something looks off. It will get better with time, because I'm not used to drawing on the computer. But I feel like it'd be easier for me to present my artwork through the computer for streaming purposes. I don't have a camera set up so that you guys can see my sketchbook or anything like that. I guess I could just show you my sketchbook through my phone. And someone would have to hold my phone for me. We'll worry about the reshaping the ears later. But as for like Emma's design, it was kind of a spontaneous thing. Because like when I first drew her, it was in my art class and we were told to do, draw 4 panels with 4 different characters. And I was like, okay. And so I spontaneously drew this design. So this is her first design. I normally don't redesign characters as soon as I draw them. Normally I get it right away. I get what I want right away. The outfits might be different. I usually don't get the outfits right away. Like, Emma's original outfit was like... She still had her vest, green t-shirt combo, but it was like... She had a skirt with like black and purple tights instead of her jeans. And she had high heels instead of her Converse sneakers, but for copyright reasons I can't say that they're Converse. I'll probably have some sort of art pun related to the branding of the shoe, maybe. Like Converse, which is like when lines meet together. It's similar enough to the brand that people will know what I'm talking about. But yeah, her freckles, her ever-present freckles, and her bangs were still a thing. The transition for color palette was kind of weird. It started off as Emma started off as a spontaneous design. Then I drew her again and wrote a small poem. And then I created the comic as a, as an experiment to see if I could draw a manga. I didn't expect it to go as long as it did. I was going to be like, okay, this is like one of those things where I try to do a comic and it will only be like, I'll give it like 2 weeks before I start to get frustrated because drawing action movements is not my thing normally. I draw the character just stoically standing or a headshot. But that didn't happen with this story. It has 83 pages and 6 chapters. Chapter 1 got turned into a manga recently, or a manga-styled comic. Not really a manga since I'm not from Japan. And it's on Blurp right now. And you can buy it for $10. And I go to conventions to sell it. I mean, I only been to one convention so far, but, and I hope the style to get better and better as I continue to do it. The first book was kind of, I don't know, in my opinion, rushed. Because I originally wrote the comic and wrote and drew it on paper. All 83 pages were drawn on paper originally. And then I drew most of it with one finger on my phone. It was really awkward until one of my friends told me about a stylus pen. And it saved me from nearly not being able to create the comic in time. So that's the history of Color Palette, summarized in, a few paragraphs? Idealistically, I should summarize it in, 5 words, but it took a long time to develop, and it's recently being redeveloped again. There. That's it in 2 seconds. So Emma's personality came from what Mom told me, do a character like Lucy from I Love Lucy, where she's a hero, but she's not doing it on purpose. She's just sort of there. These things that are happening to her, these weird situations that happen to her come to her. She doesn't actively try to search danger. It just sort of happens. In a lot of ways, that kind of reminds me of Lucy from Fairy Tale as well. How, she kind of, went to the guild, so she knew to expect danger, but most of the time, a lot of weird things happen that she doesn't exactly realize. Let's go and change the transparency. This will allow for it to be more translucent, and you will be able to... Let me tell you this, transparency is really hard to do traditionally. So, thank God for, no. Huh? If you're not religious, don't do that. But computers, a lifesaver for an artist, especially if you're off-center again. One of these days I might actually develop one of the color palette pages during one of the streams. Once I get good at doing the Wacom, that is. I'm still sort of a noob at this. So it'll probably be a long while before I get super good at using this thing. I have to use it for school, for my homework, so I have to use it all the time now. And I'll pretty much probably have to use it once I get a job in the art industry, maybe. Assuming my Twitch career doesn't take off. It's much as I love doing this, I can't make an income from it right away yet. Not unless I reach an average of 3 viewers in 30 days. Not sure. I want to be able to use the art that I'm doing for these streams for something. I have a Redbubble. At Kyra Mackenzie, I have Redbubble, so if you want to, support the artwork that is being made on this very stream, if you got any, design ideas for t-shirts, I'll make them here on this stream. And it will be called a special fan-submitted t-shirt idea. And you will be able to see them on my Redbubble. Wouldn't that be fun? I don't know if the stream time is actually going to go to 8 o'clock, but I just give myself a guideline, so that I don't rush the artwork and you're actually seeing good art being shown. I don't want to rush. I want to produce good things while I'm doing this, because if somebody's watching me doing my artwork, they might as well see some good stuff come out of it. One of the things that you'll notice is I like to give my girl heroes muscle, they're not I'm not going to say Disney princesses, because Disney princesses are starting to get muscle, like Moana and Merida are starting to look not like twigs. But I was going to say Disney princesses, where they're kind of stiff and overly skinny. I want to show that they actually have, meat on their bones, Obviously, some of them are going to be kind of skinny because body types. Don't know if I'm going to make a full body for a while. We'll worry about the arms later, because arms are kind of difficult to navigate, especially when you don't know pipes all that well. I'll probably do the coloring in its own separate layer, so that if I wanted to reuse the non-colored version, I could. The good thing about Jump Paint is that you can store your drawings in a cloud, and you'll be able to use them later. Also, hashtag not sponsored. I just really like this paint program, and I'm glad I have it again. If you ever are just curious about what our programs to use, obviously Photoshop is really good. I haven't really, when I took a college class for it, I didn't use it for graphic design, I used it for photo editing. So I got taught the photo editing aspect of Photoshop, but not the drawing aspect. I had to draw a little bit to edit the photos, obviously, but it's a bit different. Oops. You notice some of my style slipping through. I'm a inker normally, an ink artist, so I normally draw with cross-hatching. I kind of have to get used to not doing that and making my lines more clean, I guess, for the... So what do you think, guys? Does it look okay so far? I think it looks great. Time to add a new layer. I haven't used this in ages, but this layer will be for the coloring. I sound like Bob Ross. An anime artist, Bob Ross. Obviously, I'm a female, so that doesn't work. Let's draw happy little anime characters. Or anime-inspired characters. Emma's not really an anime character yet. Yet. Maybe I can do a draw my life someday. Anybody interested in that? Probably not. Well, I guess I'll give you a little backstory. Might as well know who you're watching, right? Well, my name is Kyra Mackenzie. I am an artist, an aspiring artist. My birthday's on August 2nd. So I am a Leo. And I have a mental disability. A very, very mild case called tuberous sclerosis complex. And if you go down on the panels below, I gave you the link if you want to donate to the cause. Again, not sponsored, but be a big help to help people who are less fortunate than me. And ever since I was a little kid, I was interested in art and animation. I grew up watching most of the cartoons in the 90s and 2000s, and even some old ones like Scooby-Doo and Tom and Jerry. All the way to anime like Naruto and DBZ. Animation is animation, man. Not picky about any particular studio whatsoever. Blue Sky is good because they gave us the Ice Age. The first Ice Age is really good. After 2, it starts to get a little weird, story-wise, but I still enjoy them regardless. DreamWorks, Rise of the Guardians, Megamind, Kung Fu Panda, Shrek, what's not to love about that? Where would we be without all the Shrek memes in our lives? Kidding. I could do without those. A little bit. But I'm a big fan of Smash Mouth, and I actually get to see them in their small little shows that they perform in the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk because I live in California. So it's fun to go down to the beach and listen to them for free. And I absolutely love listening to music of all kinds. I even look up some Disney songs in different languages and listen to them. There was a while that I knew how to sing Let It Go in French. I kind of forgot how to sing it in French now. But maybe one of these days I could memorize it again. I also like to sing, although I'm a bit stage fright. So the possibility of me doing a tour anytime soon is probably really low. Not unless I get like public speaking classes, so I'm not muttering under my breath or averting my eyes. I am a giant introvert in real life. But I'm able to be extroverted when I need to. Sometimes, when the situation calls for it, like work, or school, or streaming. Let's zoom in a little closer so we can see what we're doing and it's not just a big purple blob. My favorite books are Harry Potter, Warm Bodies, and yes, Warm Bodies is a series. He actually released the second book last year, and then there's a prequel. So here's to hoping that we get to see Nicholas Hoult as a zombie again. And I just got the Percy Jackson series on ebook, and I will read it at some point. There's so many book series I haven't gotten to read yet, like the Aragon series. Never really read Lord of the Rings, but I watched the movies. As for animes, I like Darker Than Black, One Punch Man, Naruto Shippuden, I said Darker Than Black already, Blue Exorcist, Black Clover, Zatch Bell, if anybody remembers that one. Everybody accused it of being a Pokemon ripoff, but honestly, Pokemon didn't invent the idea of magical items fighting against each other. That has been around since Dungeons and Dragons, I think. And, I also like Hunger Games as a book series. I was hesitant to try it out because of how overly popular it was. But after a while, I realized it was a pretty good book series. I went to see the first movie knowing absolutely nothing about Katniss Everdeen. I ended up thinking that I can relate to her in a way. Her struggling emotions and trying to put her family first over her own happiness is very admirable. As for games, Halo, Detroit Become Human, the Pro Skater series, because you can't call yourself a 2000s and 90s kid without having played them at least once. Flat Out, which is like this racing game where you can make the driver explode. Grand Theft Auto, I haven't really followed the storyline per se. I just play Grand Theft Auto sometimes to steal cars and drive like a maniac. I don't really follow the storyline all that much. But I want to expand my gaming chops. My gaming stream started off as nothing but a Rocket League channel on YouTube. And then people said, why don't you create a Twitch? And I was like, okay. Didn't know Twitch had art channels. Just thought it was like a gaming place. And I guess Twitch is more known for their games anyway. Their gaming channels. But yeah, I've been taking it pretty seriously ever since. I'm not sure if I'm doing all that good at it, but I contribute my growth to going on Facebook and spamming messages on, hey, my videos exist, if you want to watch them, go ahead. And that's kind of how it happened. And I don't like that. I like the little white highlights on the side of her ponytail, but don't really like it on top of her head. It looks weird. Let's just cover that up. So Emma's bangs exist to hide something on her face, like a scar or something. That's the only spoiler that you'll get from my Color Palette comic. I'm not gonna leave any plot details. I just gave you her vague information about her personality and how I came to design her, but that's about it. That's all you're getting. I need to work on keeping my spoilers out so that people actually want to read my stuff. Normally I'd give you information, all the information, but then you probably won't want to read it, so. I might do a novel version where it's written instead of just a story, a hand-drawn story, but at the same time I'm kind of divided on that because Color Palette is the first story that I've done that wasn't written, and it was mostly told through visuals. Obviously there's dialogue in it, but you know what I mean. Where it was just a comic. I also really like old school games. Like, I recently bought an Atari Flashback series on my PS4, so I get to play Centipede and Pac-Man and stuff like that. If you guys are interested in retro games, let me know and I'll stream them. Wasn't quite sure if people would be into that, but if you are, let me know. Down below are the chat commands, and if you write them down in the chat, like if you write down exclamation art, no capitals and no spaces, it says I want an art stream, and you will get a future art stream. But if you want a gaming stream, you just say !game. If you want a music stream where I do on YouTube I do vocal covers, acapella vocal covers, where I look up the lyrics and I read off of them and then I record it and put it on YouTube. If you want a concert stream where I do that live and I accept requests on what to sing out loud, then I will do it. Just type in !music into the chat and you will get a music stream, maybe. I have to warn you though, my mic is very bad, so I might have to sing at the top of my lungs to get it to actually sound like I'm singing and I'm not just muttering under my breath. I might give out singing lessons for everyone. I can't claim to be an expert, but I do know a thing or two about what makes singing, how to sing good. How to sing well, I should say, grammarly speaking. Because I took a few singing classes, and I used to be in my grandma's church choir when I was a little girl, so I've been singing for a while. I also know a few vocal exercises from when I took acting classes. Obviously, you can imagine, due to my withdrawn nature and my stage fright, that I did not do well in that class. Maybe I can retake another acting class and get a better grade. I was acting like I didn't care about acting class. I outacted my teacher. Yeah, just let them think that. I will fix the title soon. It says I'm streaming Detroit, but obviously I'm doing art. I tried to change it in the edit thing for some reason. Even after clicking refresh and saving changes, it didn't do anything. still getting used to Twitch. I've only been streaming since August. I don't even have any overlays set up. Not yet. The YouTube tutorials might help me. There it goes. Now it's saying I'm streaming art. For a while there it said I was streaming Detroit Become Human. I'm like, no, I did Detroit Become Human yesterday. Now I'm doing art. So in case you just came in, this is Emma Purple. She is part of my original comic called Color Palette, which you can purchase online at blurp.com. And it's spelled exactly how you expect it to be spelled. Although I do have some copies left over from when I went to a convention. And maybe I can give them away, but I can't do giveaways yet because I'm not affiliated. But maybe once I have average 3 viewers in 30 days, that could change. And I can give out free copies to send out to people. And that'd be fun. I am working on the 2nd volume right now of the comic. Not at this moment. I might do an art stream of me out working on the actual pages. But for right now, I need to get used to using the Wacom tablet. Because I'm still not used to it. I need to turn off the transparency a bit more. There we go. I'm going to add shadows underneath her hair. Now her skin. Let me turn up the transparency a bit more. There we go. Did notice in a lot of animes the girls are really, really pale. Emma's not pale, but I did start with white a little bit, but she's actually quite tan. This is just the first layer of her skin. This is so relaxing, huh? There's some days where I'm drawing and life just kind of fades away in the background. If you want to know all the different times I stream, I put them down in the panels under stream times. I don't know if I'm gonna those are just guidelines, I guess you can say. I don't know if I'll be able to do those times all the time. But I will try to be on time as much as possible. But you know, life happens. Sorry I keep moving the mouse so much, but as I keep drawing, I have to keep changing the angles of where I'm drawing at, so I'm going to reestablish her face shape. So it actually looks like it's attached to her body. You know, it just looks kind of there. So I'll be streaming art on weekends, but most of the time I stream games. Mostly because I'm unsure if what people want to see. I don't get a lot of input in my chats yet, but hopefully that will change with time, and I'll know what my viewers want. No, I'm not sure if I want to add her vest. Normally she has like a purple vest that goes with her hair, but I didn't really establish that. Maybe I can add it, or just leave it as her green shirt for now. Part of me doesn't want to do her arms and just leave it as a bust, because I think it looks cool like that, but let's just add the arms anyway. Right now, since I'm getting used to the tablet, there's not going to be much variation in poses quite yet. Normally I practice poses and stuff when I'm drawing, but for right now, let's just say she's at a rested position. This is a weird place to put something. Feels like I maybe made her shoulder a bit more forward than it needed to be. That's the price you pay when you add actual muscle mass to your characters. You have to think about where the rest of it will go. Sometimes when I draw, I don't really think about the thickness or thinness or anything. I just sort of draw. I know some artists have a clear plan of what they want and when they want it, but sometimes that doesn't happen with me. I'm just mostly making it up as I go along. Didn't know I was drawing Enma, or if I was just gonna draw a random character or something most of the time. I uploaded my art summary in my channel. My art summaries are my traditional art that I take a picture of my art from my sketchbook into my phone, and then I put it into a slideshow. So if you're curious about what my traditional art looks like, you can take a look at my channel. I recently uploaded my recent art summary, which was from months July to October. And it turned out to be 64 slides, so 64 drawings. from July to now. It's a lot of art. Most of the October ones are from Inktober. So let's see. I decreased the transparency, but I increased the brush size so that you guys will still be able to see it. The changes that I put into her skin. And then when I do digital art, I just go around circles as if I'm blending it. And then it sort of ends up looking like I did. Blend it in. Maybe it really will take me until 8 o'clock to finish this. When I put down the guidelines for the art stream, I said from 6 to 8. You know, assuming sometimes it takes me a while to finish a piece because I'm so wrapped up in the details, like skin and hair and stuff. So I don't know how long this will be. I might do a part 2 if my hand gets too tired. And in case you're wondering, I am a lefty. And if you're not wondering that, and I'm a weirdo, that's okay. You'd be surprised how much of an art piece relies on shading, just shading alone. It really is amazing. Like, without the shading in the skin, her skin would just be flat. There'd be no depth to it. Depth. I cannot pronounce words today. You know what I mean. 3-dimensional. It won't look 3-dimensional. Excuse me. Sometimes the belches just come out. You can't stop them. They're unstoppable. I need to turn up the transparency because I'm like, why isn't this coming out? There we go. That should really be black though. Because it's not the skin, it's the shadow from her hair. There we go. Maybe a bit more transparency. No, because then you can't see it. Ugh, art struggles. I could just turn up the brush volume. Speaking of turning up the brush volume, I might need to do that for a ponytail because it looks a bit flat right now. I did have another art stream up before, but I didn't like how the artwork came out, and I tried to do my vocal covers along with it, and it just didn't fit with what I wanted, so I deleted it. And I didn't record it on my computer, so it's gone forever. I think. Maybe it's on my laptop and I just haven't looked. Weird. Transparency is on. Oh. Whoa. Eraser. I'm like, why isn't it coming on? Rookie mistake. Too light. Here we go. If I make it too light, people are going to be like, where'd the rest of her neck go? And I'm like, oh, it's part of the shirt now, I guess. Here we go. And that concludes her shirt. No, wait. No. Not quite yet. Damn it, I hate when that happens. Ta-da! Pew! Come say hi to everyone. Pearl, come here. Come say hi to everyone. Say hi. Come here, Pearl. Say hi. Say hi. Hello. Should have music, huh? One of these days we'll figure out how streamers do music for their streams. But I'm worried about the legal ramifications of whatever music I play. I'm afraid that Twitch will mute the stream if I add music. Buddy, stop. Buddy's really thirsty. It's not even Buddy, it's Ginger. It's hard to guess what dog you have what dog is doing what when you have 3 of them. Shh. Sorry about that. The Wacom is a nightmare to navigate without the mouse, but with the mouse, awesome. Is there like a blending tool on here? I'm not seeing like a smudge tool or anything. Oh, there it is. Okay. I don't want to go too strong with this. I don't want to ruin all the work that I just did. I feel like I can increase it just a little bit. There we go. That saves me some time. There we go. I know I made the face a little weird, but this is what her bangs actually look like. Starting to really look like Emma now. I'm going to just re-establish the face. So it kind of got damaged when I did the smudging. Oh, it's still on smudge tool. About watercolor. There we go. Looks nice. What about her eyelashes? I think this would do good with watercolor. The watercolor brush. This is turning out to be one of the best Emma drawings I've ever done. I mean, it started off really awkwardly, but I made it work somehow. There we go. I know I keep saying that, sorry. I always say that when I get past a achievement in a drawing. I go, there I go. There we go. Sorry if it gets annoying. There we go. This is more to give it a background so it's not just whiteness. I'm sure I'll make an actual background later. This is just so that it's not like 100% flat. I'm just adding a little back shadow behind her. So that if she is standing behind something or in front of something, we'll give her a little bit more depth so she's not just staticky. Sparkle. Whoa. No thanks. That was a mistake. Added a new challenge for me. There you go. Now as for background. Before in the past, Jump Paint had like these background thingies. It doesn't look like they have that anymore. Oh wait, here they are. I might need to make a new layer for this. Let's see. Whoa. Neato. Sparkly. So, what happens if I, it's gone. Where'd it go? That's interesting. There we go. Now she's sparkling. Sparkle. I realized I locked the layer and I can't change anything now. Is it there? I can't tell. What happens if I do this? I'm not seeing anything. This? I'm not sure I like the flowers. This. It gives it a very comic book-like vibe. I don't like that. Kind of makes it look like a mosaic. Is there a way I can add the normal one on top of it? Ugh! So that's what the layer looks like. Without... Okay. Ooh, I like that. I like the bubbles. I think it looks better than normal. How's that for background? And new layer? It doesn't show up. What the hell? I guess that's it. If I add that, I can't edit it anymore. Oh well. I think we're done. Thanks for tuning in. Bye. I'll probably do a part 2 to this. See? Alright, bye.